Hello guys, you're welcome to Bisco Fashion. You're welcome to another tutorial video. Alright, if this is your first time of visiting my channel, I want to welcome you. You're welcome and thank you. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back to watch my videos. Alright, in this particular video, we are going to be drafting the built-up neckline jacket. Just as you can see it as the thumbnail, the built-up neckline jacket. Alright, we are going to be doing the drafting, the cutting, the sewing. So we are just going to be making everything perfect in this video, and I want you to just take your time and watch it from the beginning to the end, because we are just going to learn a lot in this video. Alright, this is my pattern paper. We are going to be starting from the scratch. So I'm not using the basic bodice pattern here, but we are going to start everything from the beginning to the end. Alright, let's just get started. This is my pattern paper. I'm going to use this area for the front and I'm going to use this for the back. Alright, the first thing I will do, I want to mark 1 inch. As you can see me, I want to mark 1 inch button allowance. This is the center front. This is the center front, and as you can see, the jacket, it has a button at the center front and it's like lapping on each other. So we are just going to be using this 1 inch allowance for the button allowance, right? Okay, that is what we are doing with this right now. This is my starting point, which is the shoulder line. As you can see, I have excess of 3 inches here for the built-up neck, so that we can have space to create that. So I have to just make sure the excess is there. Just like I said, this is our 1 inch button allowance. Now I'm just going to rule it out. This is our 1 inch button allowance. If you look at it very well, you'll discover that the jacket has button. So this will be for the button allowance. Alright, this is the front and this is the back. Now I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust, which is 10.5, shoulder to waist 15, and the hemline, which is my jacket length, this is 25. Alright, so I have 25 inches, so I don't need to mark that. I'm going to mark it here also. I hope you can see it. My shoulder to bust 10.5, shoulder to waist, and this is the length of my, which is 25 inches. That is the length of my jacket, which is 25 inches. Alright, I'm just going to mark it here as well to connect to a straight line across. As you can see, I'm marking it both on the front pattern and the back pattern. Alright, this is the bust line and this is the waistline. This is our hemline. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement. Which is 7.5. And here as well, from the center back. As you can see, I started on this. You know, this is just like an extra 1 inch allowance for the button, right? So I have to start on this line. I can't possibly start from here. Please just take note of that if you are drafting yours. Alright, I'm going to come to the center back as well and mark 7.5 inch, which is our shoulder line. Then the shoulder slant, 1 inch on the front pattern and half inch on the back pattern. Just make that dot, 1 inch on the front pattern and half of an inch on the back pattern, which is what we are going to use for the shoulder slant. And from here I'm just going to input my arm side measurement, which is 7.5 from this shoulder slope down. I'm going to put my arm side measurement, which is 7.5, and I'm going to take this measurement from here to here. I have 8.5. So plus the 1 inch, what is it called? From the 1 inch shoulder slant here, and this 7.5, we have 8.5. Now I'm just going to come here and mark the 8.5. I'm going to come to my back pattern and mark that 8.5 from the shoulder line, because we are going to have the same armhole depth, right? The same armhole depth. All right. Now let me just connect this line together. I haven't ruled this out, right? I'm just going to be doing that now. Now I want to mark the neck depth and the neck width. So I'm just going to be using the neck depth of 3 inches. But this neck width is supposed to be 3 inches, but I'm not going to be using 3 inches. I'm going to be using 2.5 inches. Then you may be asking that why am I not using 3 inches? All right, my neck is not really wide. I have a small stature, so, and I don't want the neck to be, I don't want it to be big. I don't want it to be open. I want to have a firm and perfect built up around my neck. All right, please, if you are someone that is plus size, you can just maintain your 3 inches. But if you have a small stature like me and your neck is not wide, you can just do that 2.5 inch. All right, so now I'm going to connect it together. I'm going to connect it together. Hope this will give me a perfect shape that I want. All right, this is for the front and for the back. Now I want to mark the back neckline. For the back, it is going to be 2.5 or so by 1.5 by 1.5. Although we are not going to be working with this later, but I'm just doing that to have our basic bodies on the pattern before we move on to alter it into our built-up neckline. All right. Now I'm marking out the shoulder slant for you to see. Okay. This is the front, this is the back. I hope you know that. All right. This is it. Okay, let's just make the armhole curve. Here, let's go in by 0.75 inch at the middle of this line, at the middle of the armhole line. I'm just going to go in by 0. This is the middle. I'll go in by 0.75 inch, and here at the middle as well. At the middle, I will go in by half of an inch. Then I'm going to make my armhole curve. I hope you are getting me. This is the front pattern, this is the back pattern. So I locate the middle of the armhole line. Here, I came in by 0.75 inch, and here half of an inch. Now I'm going to make the curve. Alright, so once you have your pattern master with you, you have the chance to just work on your pattern the way you like. Alright, we are done. Now let's just work on the dart. So to get your dart, your nipple to nipple measurement, you will divide it by 2. We'll divide it by 2. Okay, so this is my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, and I'm marking it on the waistline as well as the bust line. I'm also marking it on the back pattern also. Remember, we are working on both pattern together. Alright, so here at this hemline, I'm just going to go up by, I'll mark the same measurement, my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, and I'll go up by 2 inches. I'll go up by 2 inches, and here as well, I'll go up by 2 inches. Alright, so on the bust line, this is our bust point now. This is our bust point, my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 from the center front. This is our bust point. Now I'm just going to come down by 1 inch as well. So at the hemline, I go up by 2 inches, 2 inches, and at the bust line, I come down by 1 inch, right? I'm checking just to make sure I have the correct measurements. Now I'm going to rule it out. Okay, and this will be my what? My dart line. That is my dart line. Now let me impute my dart intake. Alright, this is half of an inch on both sides. Just mark half of an inch on both sides at the waistline, half of an inch on both sides, and connect it straight upward. Upward and downward the dart line. Okay, so if you notice, you also see that the jacket is a princess dart. Although you might decide not to make yours a princess dart, but let's just do exactly what is on the jacket that we are replicating. Alright, so I'll just divide this by 2. Okay, this is the middle. Okay, this is the middle of this. Now I'll just curve it. I hope you can see. To form my princess seam, right? Okay. You know that we have located the middle already, so I'm just curving it to make the princess seam. Alright, here also, here also, we are going to be imputing a dart here, half of an inch on both sides, half of an inch. Do same on the back pattern as well, half of an inch on both sides, and gently curve it down. Gently curve it down. So we have our princess dart already. We have our princess dart already. I'm trying to make this to make this kind of curvy. I don't want that that area to be sharp. Okay, let me just use my free hand. Alright, that is it. We have our basic bodies already. We have our basic bodies already. Alright, now let's just locate where our button will be. Alright, this is my waistline. I'm just going to go up by 1 inch on my waistline. This is 1 inch on my waistline. This is 1 inch. And I want to create a kind of curve down here. A kind of curve down here. Alright, just look at me. Here I'll go up by 1 inch. And on my waistline also by 1 inch. Alright. I'm trying to make the curve. I'm trying to make the curve. Trying to make the curve. Alright. I'll just roll it down. Then let me curve it with my hand. Aha. So that's it. That's it. So this is actually more than 1 inch at the end of the day. This is 1.5 inch. So you can actually go up by 1.5 inch and just connect this to make your jacket to have a kind of curvy shape here. And here as well, don't let us leave it straight like that. So you can make this half of an inch and connect it straight. Alright, this is our new shape. Do it here as well on the back pattern. Do it on the back pattern as well. So that you have the same shape. Alright, so I hope you are following and I hope everything is understandable. Alright, so this is the curve at the down part of our jacket. So the next thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to be working on the built-up neckline. We are going to be working on the built-up neckline. As you can see, this pattern and the dress we are making is a built-up neckline jacket. So we are going to be working on the built-up neckline. So the first thing we are going to be doing, we will go up by 1.5 inch from the shoulder line. 1.5, 1.5, and here also 1.5. Please make sure you are following me here. 1.5, 1.5, and just square the line like so. Square it like so. This is the front pattern, as you can see. So this is 1.5 inch, while this is 1.5 inch. So the next thing I will be doing, so at this angle here, just come in by half of an inch at this angle. I hope you are following me. Half of an inch, and curve it down to the, we don't want this angle to be sharp like that. So we need a curvy something to make our built-up neckline perfect. Alright, just come in by half of an inch and curve it down. Okay, so here as well, come down by half of an inch here as well. Then what are you going to do? We are just going to curve it down also. We are going to curve it down also, right? We are going to curve it down also. Just don't bother with this. We are still coming back here. But I don't want you to get confused. That's why I'm doing this. And at the back also, just do the same thing. Go up by half of an inch here, and here as well. Go up by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. And here as well 1.5 inches. And connect together. Just like we did on the front pattern. Connect together and what? Come in by half of an inch. Come in by half of an inch and connect it to your slant it to your shoulder. Slant it to your shoulder just like we did here also. Slant it to your shoulder. So come down by half of an inch also. By half of an inch and what? Slant it to this angle. The same thing we did for the front is the same thing we are doing here. I hope you can see that very well. I'm trying to maintain the same shape. So I'm trying to get, if I can just get that shape. Okay, still okay. I hope you can see we did the same thing. So the next thing we are going to do now is to just draw out our neckline. The neckline. And I would like to use a pen. I would like to use a pen to just mark it out first before I use this marker to make it bold. Alright, this is where our opening will be. This is where our opening will be. Let me extend this line to this place. I'm trying to use this to create the shape. Before I mark it out with my I hope I got it. I think so. So let me just mark it out. Let me use my marker. Alright, yes, that is it. That is it. We've actually gotten the nice shape. Alright, so I think that's all for the front pattern. And for the back pattern, we are not going to be adding zipper allowance. As you can see, there will not be zipper at the back of our jacket. So what we are going to be doing, let's just make our so here I want to go in by half of an inch. You know, our spine is not entirely straight like that, so I'm trying to create a curve here to just give it that shape that will make our jacket look perfect. Alright, so I mark half of an inch on the waistline, which I will slant downward. I hope you can see. I will so slant it upward. All right, so that will give us a nice shape at the back of our jacket. Okay, the next thing we are going to be doing, we haven't input our measurement. All right, on the bust line, I'm just going to put my bust measurement divided by 4. So my bust circumference is what? It's 36 divided by 4. 36 divided by 4 equals to 9. So on the bust line, 9 inches. Wow. It's just the exact measurement that I have here. So I have here. So on the waistline, I have 29 divided by 4. On the waistline, my waist measurement is 29. So plus this 1 inch that intake, I'm going to add it to it. I'm going to add it, which is 30. 30 divided by 4 will be what? 7.5. So I have 7.5. Let me mark it at the back also. Let me mark it at the back also. So here, please don't mark from this curve. Just mark it straight from what? From the center back. Mark your waist measurement divided by 4, and here your bust measurement 9. So down here your hip measurement divided by 4. You don't have to add any other ones also. So my hip is also 36. I have 9 inches. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to mark it out. I'm going to make the shape. I'm going to make the shape. All right, that is it. Okay, so we are done with the drafting. We are done with the drafting, and as you can see, this is the front pattern, while this is the back pattern. We have our built-up neckline. We have our built-up neckline. So we have our princess that. We have our princess that, and we have our nice curve here. We also have this our neckline design in just a pretty way. So the next thing I will do, I would like to extend this line. I would like to extend it down, because while cutting, I would like to cut out the dart. I would just like to cut through the dart. All right. So I think I'm through with that. I'm done with that. Now let me cut it out. I'm just going to cut it out now. Alright, so this is the front pattern and this is the back pattern. I actually want you to see it before I cut it, before I cut out through the dart line. Okay guys, so there is something I should have done while drafting the pattern, but it actually skipped my mind. It skipped my mind. Alright, so I'm just going to be doing it right now. You know, because we took 1 inch dart on this place and we did not replace it. So while sewing, this might not be it will not be the same length with this. So while joining together, you are still going to have an extra 1 inch. So we are going to be replacing it right now to make the measurement of this place and this place to be equal. All right, so thank you. Now I'm going to be extending this line by 1 inch. So this is the 1 inch. I'm going to extend this line and create another another armhole. All right, that is it. I'm going to extend this line by 1 inch and create another armhole. This is the center front, don't forget. This is the side front. Okay guys, so this is it after the cutting. This is the front, this is the center front, this is the side front, this is the side back, this is the center back, as you can see. So I've already cut the lining and the main fabric. All right, so I actually used the same fabric for the lining as well. So I had to cut 4 pieces each. 4 pieces each. So I'm going to be showing you now. Okay, I cut 4 pieces each. As you can see, this is the main, while this is the lining. All right, that's what I did. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sew it. I will sew the lining separately while I also sew the main fabric separately. As you can see, this is for this, this is for this, this is for this, while this two is for the lining. All right, so as well as the back, and the back also, this is the main fabric, this is the side, while this is the lining. As you can see, I will sew this to this, I will sew it like this, I will also sew this like this, and I will also sew the lining separately the same way I sew the dress. Well, I will come back to show you what I have. Okay guys, so I'm back. So this is the back. As you can see, this is the back. I've already joined it together, the princess in the center as well. So I've already joined it together, and this is it. I already went ahead also to open the seams and just press it for a perfect look. All right, so this is the back and this is the facing. This is the lining. I used the exact fabric for the lining. So this is the lining, and this is our front. This is the front. Oh yes, as you can see, this is the front. So that is it. This is the front, and I hope you can notice that's our curve. So that is it. All right guys, so now we are going to be sewing it. So I have my back panel. This is the main bodice. All right, so I have my back panel, and this is the front. This is the front. This is the front. We are going to sew it together now. Okay, so this is the back and this is the front, and I'm placing it on each other as it is supposed to be. As you can see it, I'm just going to do the lining the same way I placed this. So this is the back, this is the front. I'm going to place it on each other. Alright, as you can see, I'm doing the same thing. Alright, so I'm going to sew it right from this neck here to the shoulder. I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it. I will leave the armhole, right? And I'm going to sew the side also. I'm going to sew it the side. I'm going to sew the side. And from here also, from the shoulder, from the neck here to the shoulder, I will leave the armhole, then sew it, then sew it, sew it, sew it. I end my sewing here. Alright, that is what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to sew the facing also the same way I'm going to sew this. Alright, as you can see, I have it placed on each other, and I will sew it round. I will sew it round, leaving only the armhole and this opening, and this opening. And I'm also going to sew the lining the same way. Alright, I'm just coming back right now. Okay guys, so this is it after joining it together. Just like I told you, join the shoulder and leave the armhole, join the side. Alright, so this is it. I did not join this down part actually. Alright, I hope you can see it very well. This is it. This is the main bodies, why this is what we are going to use to turn it. Alright, it's just exactly the same thing. So if you are using lining, that's also okay. I mean, if you are using another fabric for the lining, it is also okay. But at the up here, just make sure that you are using the same fabric, or you are using a kind of design that you want it to show at the upper part. So at the up here, make sure you are using the same fabric to turn it, in order not to have that kind of funny appearance at the up here. All right, so this is it. And the next thing I'm going to do now, as you can see it, this is the right side and the right side. I'm going to place it right side facing right side, and I'm going to sew it round. I'm going to sew it round. I'll sew it up here. I will sew it down to the center like this and like this. Okay, should I just pin it down so that you can have a look at what I want to sew? Okay guys, this is what we have after pinning. As you can see, the right side, the right side facing the right side, the right side in, and we have the wrong side out. All right, and I pin it round. I pin it round to just maintain a firm and perfect sewing. So I pin it round, and now I'm just going to sew it round. I'm going to sew it round and turn it at the armhole. All right, I'm not going to sew the armhole. So it is only the armhole that I'm not going to sew, but I will sew everything round. I will sew it round and leave the armhole. All right. Okay guys, so this is what we have after joining it and opening and turning it over at the armhole. So this is what we have. As you can see, the inside is very neat, while the outside is also very neat. And as you can see, our built-up neck, it is looking really nice. So this is where we are going to put our button. This is where the button is going to be. All right, so this is it. This is it. This is the neck. So I'm just going to put it on and just show you the outcome of everything. And about the sleeve, and just I want this to be harmless, but you can decide to put any kind of sleeve that you want. You can put maybe long sleeve or 3/4 or short sleeve. All right. So just go ahead and face the sleeve. All right. So for watching my video. Thank you. Please, I want you to try this. Please just try the process. Do the pattern drafting, the cutting, and the sewing. And please just get connected to me on all my social media handles. I'm on Instagram as Bisco Fashion, on Facebook as Bisco Fashion. All right, just make this and tag me on my social media handles. Please, this is really nice. This is really nice. Please make sure you make yours. Make sure you make yours and just make me proud. Please just encourage me. Help me to subscribe to my channel. Help me to turn on the notification bell so that you will get notified whenever I post video. And you can also share this video with your friends. I know that you have friends that need to see this. You can see the way it is perfectly looking.
May the love of the Father and the grace of the Son and the fellowship of the Spirit be with us, be with us.